I like people shorter than me, which is hard to find, quite frankly. But we're all blessed to have Tim Scott in our lives. Tim's been a great friend. He's going to lead us to victory. And how do you win? You get more votes than they do, and you try to keep them from cheating. So that's the task. So let me tell you a little bit about how many of you give money to this organization? Good. If you're not raising your hands, you need to do some soul searching, including me. So the bottom line is there are a lot of organizations pushing a lot of causes, and I can tell you on this side of the aisle, the social side of the aisle, nobody puts lead on target better than the SBA. We can give all the speeches about why we agree with each other, but if we lose, it really doesn't matter, right? How do you win? SBA Students for Life have been knocking on doors for me for over a year. Now, a lot of people won't do that. They'll give you money, they'll say nice things about you, but this organization actually delivers volunteers to help you win an election. I'm in a primary. I feel good about the general election, but I got to get through the primary. This will be my 5th term. You build up some scar tissue if you've been around this long. So speaking of Trump, I've become friends with the president. I think he's doing a great job on many fronts. During the debate, Bob, it might have been in Iowa, he was at some event, and he says, I'm about to go on at a faith event. I said, okay, good luck. I'll be praying for you. He said, I need some Bible verses. I told him, call Tim. And he did, which was a wise move on his part. So anyway, we got a couple of issues that really matter. If we keep the Senate, no matter what happens to the House, and I'd love to keep the House, we can appoint judges. Right? I was chairman for 2 years. We had a conveyor belt of conservative judges. Remember Kavanaugh? I will fight for our people. When our people are treated badly, I will fight for them. We've got the most pro-life court I think we've had in my lifetime, and it took years to get here, decades to get here, and we're now here. We're not going to give it up easily. So if I get to be chairman, which I'm slated to be if I win my primary, you can expect more of the same. Now, what's the biggest threat to the pro-life movement? I think it's the chemical abortion pill. 70% of abortions now are administered through a chemical abortion pill. Biden changed the rules so you didn't even have to go to see a doctor. And that's not wise or healthy. We have a chance to go back the other way, and I'm going to push the Trump administration to do that. That you have to see a doctor before you take one of these pills. It's a very dangerous thing we're talking about. And if you don't prevent these pills from being mailed across state lines, then you've wiped out every state pro-life law in the books. So we got to get this right. More than any other issue, like defunding Planned Parenthood, we'll do that again. We'll do another reconciliation bill. The funding, is July. We'll make it. But if we don't put some kind of limits and rein in how the chemical abortion pill is being administered in this country, we've lost a tremendous amount of ground. And we're not going to lose that ground easily without a fight. So to SBA and all those who give, you're making a difference in my campaign. We're going to need you in the fall. A little bit of optimism. What's going on today, I think, will not be going on in September and October. I think we're going to get Iran in a box. If they had how many believe if they had a nuke, they would actually use it in Iran? If you don't believe that, you shouldn't be allowed to drive. But anyway, they would, and we're going to not let them do it. But this war will wind down. We've got to stand by our friends in Israel, I think. God blesses those who bless Israel. Common values, common enemies, we've got to stand with them. But the bottom line is, I think gas prices are going to go down when the war winds down. I think Saudi Arabia and Israel may make peace like we're trying to do before, which would be the biggest change in thousands of years in the Mideast. So in September and October, I think we can have a growing economy, stable stock market, reduced gas prices. Then it comes down to who wants it the most. We have headwinds today, but I don't think they're going to be permanent. And without SBA and people like you, but you're the sort of the premier league by your own, of actually doing things that are not politically sexy but important, knocking on a door and having some person advocate for the cause. You can't buy that. There's no ad that replaces that. So you have one of the best ground games in all of American politics. I'm the beneficiary of that, and it takes money to keep this thing going. Final thought. When it comes to money, Democrats are printing money. All of us are getting outspent 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 to 1. Now, what can close that gap? Volunteers, knocking on doors, spreading the good news. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.